Opalcave.com.au Herman Kreller Fraudster News Video Series 5/1 Part 5 of 6. Good afternoon. Very welcome to check out this 6 news videos series. Any censorship online by anyone for any reason equals $777 trillion per second in ongoing default payments. Continue with opalcave.com.au Herman Kreller News Series 5/1 Video/Part 5 of 30,355 written, sworn under oath affidavits starts here. And any and all other whatever called assets etc. that me myself as defendant number 1, Herman Kreller, Opal Cave, Lightning Ridge, New South Wales, Australia, may have hidden away etc. wherever located etc. worldwide. And of course anything and everything else of all other whatever called assets etc. that me myself as defendant number 1 Herman Kreller, Opal Cave, Lightning Ridge, New South Wales, Australia, whatever called, did forget etc. have not accounted for etc. and or notified etc. Australian Taxation Office about etc. as guarantee etc. as security etc. as credentials etc. that this my as defendant number 1 Herman Kreller, Opal Cave, Lightning Ridge, New South Wales, Australia, opalcave.com.au Herman Kreller News Series 5/1 Videos/Part 1 to 6 of 30,355 written, sworn under oath affidavits in front of Justice of Peace that of course will be video recorded. Really are 100% true facts and 100% correct facts and 100% complete facts, and are not whatever called deceptive etc. and or whatever called misleading etc. and or partly untrue etc. and or up to 100% are true etc. in any ways etc. and or shapes etc. and or forms what etc. whatsoever. This is 777 Henry Virtanen default clauses /contracts/agreements etc. that applies etc. to this my as defendant number 1 Herman Kreller, Opal Cave, Lightning Ridge, New South Wales, Australia, opalcave.com.au Herman Kreller News Series 5/1 Videos/Parts 1 to 6 of 30,355 written, sworn under oath affidavits in front of Justice of Peace that of course will be video recorded are as follows. opalcave.com.au Herman Kreller News Series 5/1 Videos/Parts 1 to 6 of 13 written, sworn under oath affidavits for each dollar multiplied with 2,335 equals 30,355 of opalcave.com.au Herman Kreller News Series 5/1 Videos/Parts 1 to 6 of written, sworn under oath affidavits in this my defendant number 1 Herman Kreller, Opal Cave, Lightning Ridge, New South Wales, Australia, gives total of all this 13 multiplied with 2,335 equals 30,355 of opalcave.com.au. Herman Kreller News Series 5/1 Videos/Parts 1 to 6. Written, sworn under oath affidavits. Me, myself, Defendant number 1, Herman Kreller, Opal Cave, Latin Ridge, New South Wales, Australia, are hereby instructed, etc., to calculate how much total defaults, payments, etc., that me, myself, Defendant number 1, Herman Kreller, Opal Cave, Latin Ridge, New South Wales, Australia, have to pay, etc. In this my Defendant number 1, Herman Kreller, Opal Cave, Latin Ridge, New South Wales, Australia, of opalcave.com.au, Herman Kreller News Series 5/1 Videos/Parts 1 to 6 of 30,355 written, sworn under oath affidavits. Default payments, etc., applies, etc., in any order of these big numbers of my own, Herman Kreller, Opal Cave, of opalcave.com.au, Herman Kreller News Series 5/1 Videos/Parts 1 to 6 of 30,355 written, sworn under oath affidavit. Dollar number 1, Part 1, refused, default payments equals $1 million. Dollar number 1, Part 1A, refused, default payments equals $1 million. Dollar number 1, Part 1B, refused, default payments equals $1 million. Dollar number 1, Part 1C, refused, default payments equal $1 million. Dollar number 1, Part 1D, refused, default payments equal $1 million. Dollar number 1, Part 1E, refused, default payments equal $1 million. Dollar number 1, Part 1F, refused, default payment equal $1 million. Dollar number 1, Part 1G, refused, default payments equal $1 million. Dollar number 1, Part 1H, refused, default payments equal $1 million. Default dollar number 1, Part 1L, and Part 1I, refused, default payments equal $1 million. Dollar number 1, Part 1G, refused, default payments equal $1 million. Dollar number 1, Part 1K, refused, default payments equal $1 million. Dollar number 1, Part 1L, refused, default payments equal $1 million. Gives total for whatever called refusing this dollar number 1 of $13 million. Dollar number 2, Part 2, refused, default payments equal $2 million. Dollar number 2, Part 2A, refused, default payments equals $2 million. Dollar number 2, Part 2B, refused, default payments equals $2 million. Dollar number 2, Part 2C, refused, default payments equals $2 million. opalcave.com.au, Herman Kreller, News Series 5/1 Video/Part 5, written, sworn under oath affidavits, ends here. Thank you for checking out this 6 news video series. Continue with News Video 6, Part 6, starting